I'm Big VezMon, or you can call me Trap Money VezMon. And I'm sitting here with Colin Wee, my master, my sensei, the founder of JYD Karate. It's an honor.
Hey, Big VezMon, how's it going?
I'm good.
I love the t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
I appreciate the kisses. Yeah. We're talking about my master's new book, Breaking Through the Secrets of Bassai Kata.
Awesome.
Now in this book, you're laying down some of the coldest, most lethal, deadly Kung Fu maneuvers that we need to know and we need to know about, but you're also talking about something that's almost important in the mind.
In the mind.
Take us through that.
That's right. Well, the kata is a framework to train martial arts, of course. And, a lot of people think, oh, hey, the biggest thing that's going to get you is walking into a dark alleyway. That's not really the essence of martial arts practice, of course. And the thing that really jumps out at me is the mental visualization and preparation that you get from the dojo or the practice, but you can actually apply to any part of your life, whether it be in the office or at a public presentation, when dealing with a difficult customer. This mental approach to training allows you to use your physical techniques as analogies or lessons that will help you through life. Yeah.
In this book, you're talking about katas.
Kata, yeah.
And I take that as practicing a sequence over and over and over again. But isn't that a little boring? And what do you say to the people that might say, well, he's just taking students into his dojo and it's one of those wax on, wax off scams where he acts like he's teaching them karate, but really he's just getting to wash his cars.
That is perfect, actually. Kata is very boring. When I first started, I thought it was the most boring and unintelligible systems of training that I could actually engage in. What happens is that if you take it out of context, then the kata means little to you. If you practice it as a choreograph or a competition system, that's fine. The pursuit brings its own reward. But if you don't look at it as a framework for training or to actually transmit real skills and real experiences, then kata training is basically dead training. And there's a lot of martial artists out there who don't enjoy kata practice. There's also combative practitioners out there who say kata training is useless. And the reason is that they label it as an ancient traditional system that has no more relevance to 21st century, right? Whereas any drill, any set sequence of exercises or techniques basically is kata. So you could actually have a boxing training program and run it through one student or 10 students, and basically that is kata. Kata basically really is only a sequence of techniques that help you extend some skill or experience.
Oh, that's deep knowledge.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a little embarrassed. I wasn't going to say anything because we're here to talk about your accomplishments, but I did bring a few of my pieces of silverware that I've picked up over this
really quite impressive, actually.
Belts and trophies that I've either won or bought or had made up for myself.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, don't look into it or anything, but it's all legit. You won't find it all in the record books because a lot of these are dark matches, house matches. If it's not on TV, it didn't happen, right? But anyway, let's talk about your accomplishments. A legit lord, a sensei, my own personal master, 10th Dan black belt, World Kung Fu Hall of Famer, Stone Cold Gangster Killer,
Stone Cold Steve Austin,
respected author, it goes on, celebrity chef, motivational speaker, archery boss, e-commerce doyen, and international raconteur. So tell me, my lord, are there any pies you don't have your fingers in?
At the moment, an apple pie, probably. No, we're not in the martial arts to actually get awards. I mean, these are fantastic. I don't even think that I've got anything close to what looks like a belt or a What is that?
Action figure.
Action figure, yeah.
I mean,
action
it's more
figure.
of a bobblehead, really, but
Is that you?
yeah, that's me.
Okay.
That's me in my wrestling days.
Big VezMon.
Big VezMon. Now, the demand for these is high, strong to quite strong. We can't keep these in stock, and I'm not even kidding. Trap Money VezMon Enterprises, we don't stock these. So, but let me ask you one more thing.
I probably need your help to merchandise, not only that, plus sell the book, actually.
So, you say that your style is not the one true style, and there's lots of styles and techniques that are good and you can learn from. But let me ask you this. Which style do you think will make you the most popular, my lord?
Well, it's not about style, it's about class, isn't it? What style will make you most popular? Yeah, it isn't. It isn't about style; it's about class. Most popular. Well, if it's for the present day, I suppose it'll be some sort of BJJ or something that will prepare you for the UFC. I mean,
Good
really,
answer.
you want popularity, that's where you go to, and you then shake the cage a little bit, rattle things, and start talking it up. And basically, this is where you're headed for.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was going to ask you about. Like, what do you say to the people that would say, oh, you know, it's really good to be good at karate, but that only works if the other guy fights back with karate.
With karate.
Like, what if they do bring out the big guns, some BJJ?
At one level, that's exactly it. I mean, it's like it's karate to match with another karate practitioner is exactly where it's at, because we do train a lot of children. I don't train a lot of children, but a lot of karate schools are basically there for young children, young teens, right? When you actually start learning the martial arts, it's really about kicking and punching, but as you actually progress, hopefully your ability to analyze what you have improves over time. Sometimes it's really quite difficult when you get to class and there's a time challenge by the instructor. He's trying to run you through your grading program. He's trying to grade you up to actually receive some of these. Unfortunately, there's no time or opportunity in class to actually really talk about how to analyze or high-level understanding of a pattern or a kata. And that's what this book is all about, is to actually talk about a framework of understanding whereby techniques are not isolated techniques, but tactics that flow with a continual resistance set up by the opponent. So you have the opponent is going to throw up a counter, you are going to actually counter that counter ad infinitum. So it's continuous. In martial arts training, when you train beginners, you can't do that because beginners really need to learn that technique in an isolated sequence in order to actually grade up. The developing of the mindset to open up your sensitivity to the opponent and understand what the opponent is trying to do, and then to mount an adequate defense or offense comes with a lot of effort and insight, and you need a framework of understanding. Otherwise, basically, you're just throwing up a punch or a kick. There's very little difference between low-level martial arts and kickboxing or Muay Thai, for instance, because it looks all the same. You don't actually see the development of what happens in the mind over time.
You're one of the most deadly men on the planet. So let's talk about some potential opponents and how you're going to come at it.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar. He's got WWE, MMA. He's going to come in, hit you with an F5, go hammer fist.
What is an F5?
F5 is a spin move off the shoulders, and then you're hitting on the back of your neck.
Yeah,
on
he's really
mat.
quite a...
And
He is thick, isn't he?
hammer fist.
Yeah.
And then he's going to take you to Suplex City, B.
Yeah.
What's the strap? Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, exactly. Brock Lesnar is a huge opponent. I mean, I would be running if I pissed him off. As a fighter, you don't really think of failing, but there is that potential. And obviously, you don't win all encounters. In the traditional martial arts, you don't really engage in competition that often. It's not like I don't. With the competition, there are rules. With a cage match, with UFC, with WWF, sorry, WWE. Now,
Either way is good.
You want something to occur by the rules in order to safeguard the opponent and yourself, and you are providing some sort of entertainment. Within the traditional martial arts, depending on how you actually train, you may not really do that often. You do sometimes no contact, semi-contact. You do hard contact. You have a framework to actually safeguard your opponents. You are practicing lethal techniques in a fairly non-lethal environment.
Oh, that's pretty modest.
It is. Well, the truth is sometimes you are trying to walk the line of being safe with your training partner, and at the same time trying not to think that you are so solid that you're going to kill any and all onlookers, right? Or opponents that come your way.
But if it happens, right?
I think what happens, you know, like in the UFC, you see people talking about, hey, how come Wing Chun doesn't work? And then the Wing Chun guy says, oh yes, we are wearing these gloves, and therefore I can't go for the eyes, or the throat, or the nuts, or the knees. And I'm like, that's true. Because that's not what this competition is all about. This competition is about a certain set of rules. You need to be able to take down the person, stop the person taking down. You need to have some striking skills. And that range of what you can do is understood between the two parties, right? You can't go into a televised cage match and then immediately go for the eyes, the nuts, the knees, do a suplex.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
You will get.
I know, but if it happens,
what is the? So you get disqualified.
Yeah, you can get the DQ.
Can you get like banned? You can get banned too from the UFC, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are fighters who basically come back in after they've not secured the win that they want and strike the opponent or go for the ref, and then they get cancelled.
Well, you know what they cancel the most for is when they only wrestle and they stay on the mat and they stay completely in the rules because it's boring.
That is exactly
Dana White
right.
kicks them out.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. I got two more names to throw at you. I suspect the answer is going to be the same, but I'm going to try anyway. Two very different fighters. So the first is Logan Paul. And if you wanted to attack him, I know you may not like me to use the word attack, but if you wanted to physically assault Logan Paul.
If I wanted to attack Logan Paul, it's not physically, mate. I basically send him a bunch of rude tweets.
But on the real, he's got MMA, WWE, and boxing, and he's a human highlight reel. In his first boxing match, he went against Floyd Mayweather, who's never lost a match, and took him to 12 rounds. Now I know some people say, oh, Floyd was holding him up at times and blah, 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 but regardless, what's the strat for Logan Paul? The same?
Floyd is not a counterpuncher, he's a defensive boxer. Floyd basically works with, is it a Philly shell? Basically, one of these guards where the front hand is down and the back hand is up. And his ability to evade strikes is unprecedented.
Yeah.
He has nothing to prove with Logan Paul. And from what I understand, basically it was a money-making venture. And Logan was basically using that to actually promote himself with a loud mouth, and that's basically what he does.
Logan Paul, you see him in WWE, he steals every show. He steals every show. He does crazy stuff.
Yeah.
That guy is a machine.
Yeah.
Let me try it from another sport. I'm gonna hit you with LeBron James. He's just beat Kareem's all-time scoring record, and it took Bruce Lee to take Kareem down.
Wow.
You think
that's a huge stretch.
You think you could catch LeBron in a guillotine or rear naked choke? He's not going to give you his back.
Yeah, he won't. As a traditional fighter, basically, I'm one of two things. Well, I'm a traditional fighter, and I'm also a Taekwondo practitioner. Most people think Taekwondo practitioners are all kicks, and and we don't actually practice very combative, relevant combative or hard-hitting lethal techniques, right? So basically it's like a sport-oriented, light and beautiful high kicks. And I would seek to play it off on all of them. So is it LeBron James?
Yeah.
Paul Logan?
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
I am a smaller person.
Yeah.
I am 5'7". I'm light, and basically I move around them. I bring them in. There should be deception. Sorry, there's deception. There's misdirection.
Yeah.
Feign weakness, and basically then use techniques where it's not a lot. I mean, it's like I wouldn't get into a cage match with them.
Yeah.
Because the cage match is bound by certain rules.
Yeah.
And that's not what's great for me. I mean, I'm 53 years old. I'm gonna get my ass handed to me.
You're so much.
I'm gonna get into a 5F. Is it F5? F5, and I'm gonna get suplexed.
You're too honest.
And then if it's filmed, then I'm gonna get into trouble because then I'm gonna go for the eye strike, neck strike, nuts and knees, right? Certainly, there's skills that we practice as traditional artists that should not be underestimated. Also, the question is, if push comes to shove and we are stressed, then is the control good enough then not to really get ourselves into trouble, right? So we are practicing things that are not great for the general population. We should be practicing only with experienced people because the things that we do can and have hurt people before. And it's with a great deal of control that then my training partners continue to come back and play with us. Otherwise, really, it's like, I'm going to really get myself into trouble.
How many men total, as an estimate, would you estimate that you have killed?
How many men have I killed?
And
with my humor?
Well,
+1.
Let me ask you this. Do you think your style could defeat the Wu-Tang Clan?
The Wu-Tang Clan. And the Wu-Tang Clan is...
You got the RZA, the Jizza, ODB. There's no father to your style, and there's no father to your style. I mean, he's deceased now. Ghostface Killer, Inspector Deck, Method Man, Raekwon the Chef. I know I'm missing a couple there, but individually they're like assassins, 9 assassins. But they form like Voltron. How are you going to defeat him, Master?
How do they stack up against Shonuff? So that's the problem with traditional martial arts, isn't it? It's a little bit boring, and unfortunately, basically, you don't get all of these. How do I actually go up against that? You can't.
Let me ask you, does fear exist in your dojo, Master?
Yes, it does. The whole point of it is to actually get into a situation where you are feeling a heightened sense of adrenaline coursing through your body in order to actually try to control yourself. With students, basically, there was a student who says, "Oh, hey, you're so intimidating, I'm so scared." And I go, "Hey, but at the end of the day, you actually walk out of here on your own 2 feet." The reason being is that there is a huge amount of control. Of course, I come across as being scary. Of course, we actually do these exercises so we get the blood pumping. But the idea is to have that mental visualization, to have the framework of understanding, to make those decisions on the fly in order to then not really be overcome by fear, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, going up against Brock Lesnar, if I had to do it, there will be fear. Certainly. If there's going to be, how many in the stadium?
Oh, 50,000.
50,
yeah.
50,000, of course it's a fear. You don't want to fail, you don't want to actually embarrass yourself, and then there's this crowd cheering. Of course there's going to be times where you are going to be distracted, and that's what traditional training is something which has seen me do well for many different things, and many things that I've never really been accomplished at. Public speaking, or doing an event, or cooking for a dinner party. These things basically sometimes are thrown at you, and you have to do it. Basically, you need to have a mindset that allows you to actually flow with that situation and focus on those instances or processes that help you win, rather than focus on the fear or the anxiety creating analysis of the situation that just basically trips you up. That's not what is great in life.
I get that. So let me talk to you about a few moves real quick. So the first one is the crane. They say, if done correctly, no one can defeat. Yes, yes, true.
Yeah, well, if you do any technique, well, it's definitely no can defeat.
Let me take it a step further.
Yeah.
What if it was Dr. Crane from Frasier doing the crane? Then you've got double, triple, quadruple crane coverage. No one can defeat.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I should come up with a logo for that and put it on my uniform.
So, Sensei, we've all heard of Bruce Lee's famous 1-inch punch. Could knock a man back 4 or 5 meters from 1 inch. I've been in the dojo, up in the lab, and I've been working on a little move.
Yeah, what, 6-inch punch?
I call it the 0-inch punch.
The 0-inch punch. Wow.
I call it the push.
The push.
Hey!
Excellent. That's awesome. I should learn that.
So, are there any last things you want to leave us with, my master?
It's been a huge journey. I mean, the book has been started from when COVID started, and it's oh, thank you. I mean, really, thanks. Well, it is. I have actually gone through it. It is a very condensed book, and the idea really is to allow a person to take the concepts and the insights to your own system. There's obviously applications, there's a lot of pretty pictures, but the point of it really is to use the lessons and apply it onto your own system of study. Otherwise, basically, it really is just another book, which is not. So the sharing of my journey and the insights is to really help you cut through one-liners, anecdotal, unsubstantiated ideas of kata analysis, and to have a fairly clear approach to understanding systems which haven't really seen the light of day in 1 or 2 centuries. And it's not like people are not trying, it's just that it's hard to actually talk holistically or provide a fairly good overview in order to actually clarify what exactly these ancient masters did. And when you then have kind of like a fairly easy to follow framework that basically helps you sort through a kata, which really doesn't teach you very much, but it helps you sort through the kata using your existing knowledge and your skills, and which is exactly what anybody needs to do. It's not that you can create knowledge on the fly. So when you actually look at information on YouTube, that is information. When you actually really need to apply it, basically you need more than just what you see on YouTube, which is free and provided without context to a situation, right? So enjoy the book, enjoy Bassai Dai Kata, and if you can look through the framework, try to apply it to your own system and let me know how you go, because I'm really excited that this helps with systems of practice that is so valuable to me that I've been practicing it for the last 40 years, and I still have a huge amount of passion for it.
Colin Wee, a stone cold gangster killer. We all need to learn his lethal styles, but also his messages for our mind. It's been an honor, my sensei.
Big VezMon, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.